Okay guys, just a quick update. Was hoping to get onto putting this 9-inch together today, but it's taken me way longer than I was hoping to get these engine mounts done here on this 350, because it turns out initially where I was measuring off the flange here, regardless of the piece of MDF on there, even with that off it, it's not very square, just being nipped up there. So I had to go back to, I put the crank in so I could get the definite centre line. I'm still doing the same method with the string on the floor of the marks on the car, but by the time I got it in a happy position, which for me the maximum is going to be 4 degrees inclined backwards or down towards the gearbox end, and as low as I wanted it in the front, you had to, I had clearance issues then between the drag link and the bottom of the sump, which now I've got about 4 mil there, 3 mil, which will be enough when all the weight comes on, and there'll be some movement in this engine now, so that should be enough to clear there. However, what I've ended up with is this side I'll be able to just weld straight in. It's up against the chassis and my distance to the centre line is okay, but with everything else in position I've ended up with a 5mm packer, which is what's under this piece of tape here on this side, which initially it confused me because I thought they should be exactly the same. So what I'll be doing is making new plates for here with that extra 5mm on the centre line to the bolt, so that it can sit where it is now and not have any packers or anything and be welded straight in. I also ended up underneath having to actually pack up from my original setup into the gearbox. I've just used steel at the moment and put a couple of 5mm packers, so there's 10mm in there now, just to try and get this height correct. What that's done is that's got the gearbox in the happy place, but the yoke on the uni, as you can see, each side I've got 5mm there, which is the minimum you get. Look, really that's not going to move much. Everything should be reasonably rigid, but I would normally have liked a bit more, but when you go to these 1350s, I guess that's always going to take a lot of room. So with 4 degrees on the engine, 2 degrees on the drive shaft angle, and the pinion angle on the diff is basically at 0. That needs to be basically looking uphill towards you know, what would be the top of the engine. So I've got to you know, do some work yet on the top arms and get all that set up, but it's another fabrication job for me. We're not allowed to change the arms, however you are allowed to put extra ones in. So I believe, what the boys do generally is just take a bushing out of the top arm, and so it's basically just floating there, and then make adjustable arms out of rod ends and fabricate mounts for the diff and the body. So that will be the next job. Once I get these all welded in, I'll put all the motor in box. Actually, I want to check the shifter again, and I'm going to fabricate a new cross member, which I've started doing. Where did I put that? So that one's pretty heavy, the one I initially built, and oh, can't find my tube. Put it somewhere handy out of the way, no doubt. Anyhow, hang on, I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, so I've got this piece of tube formed to get around the mounts that I've actually got. I've added extra ones in on this car. This is basically where the gearbox will end up. I'll fabricate a mount off here. There'll be 2 more tags further back that will line up with the extra ones here where this bolt is that I welded into the floor. There's a big plate up inside with a nut on it as well to take any vibration out of this, because when you've got that length across here, to my mind, it just jumps around way too much. But yeah, rather than fix this one again, I've had a couple of goes at this And yeah, it's a pretty heavy bit of kit, so yeah, I'm going to reduce a bit of weight, use this tube this time. So yeah, there's some fabrication still to do there. Then I'll pull all the donk out, just make sure. I have had other issues on this one where that bit of braided line is at the moment. That's where the shifter will normally be, up where the scratched old bit of floor is, and yeah, those linkages off the bottom of the hearse just clear that cross member. So I'll be trying to clear this one and make it really nice, now that I know the issues that you can run into. So that should be a really good lightweight unit. Anyway, just a quick one. We're going to play with the kids soon, so unfortunately this diff will be waiting for another week, but I'm 2 weeks away from Pistons from Summit, and that'll be the go button for getting this engine back together. But, anyway, I'll get the fabrication out the way so I can clean up in here and put I put a little tent up that sort of hooks up into the roof, just a little, uses those bits of bits of 19 by 40 I think they are, and some tent poles and things. I'll just make a little plastic tent up that keeps the clean air. Anyway, you'll see all that. Righto, later.